Hi guys, I have an insanely huge book haul to show you guys. I have 21 books to show you guys, and the craziest part is that I think I spent under $30 on all of this. So this is a mix of little free library picks. It's mostly little free library picks. I have some books that I got from some other people for my birthday, and I have a couple that I got myself for my birthday, and a few that are thrifted. If you watched last week's little free library video, you guys will already know the books that I found for the little free libraries, but today I'm going to show them and give a little description too. Let's start off with my birthday gifts and my thrifted books that I haven't shown yet, in case you watched that little free library video last week and you're not interested in looking at all of the books I found at the little free libraries. First up, from a lovely, wonderful book bestie follower that I have on TikTok, I received The Will of the Many by James Islington. This is the first book that I've ever had somebody online send to me, and I can't even begin to explain to her how much this means to me. I feel like this gift will always kind of be like a pivotal moment in my mind. I actually made a book bestie from being online in this online book space, and they actually sent me a birthday gift. Like, that's insane. She also sent me some annotation tabs with this as well. So this is a fantasy book, if you didn't know, and I believe it is about our main character, and I'm pretty sure he like deceives his way into like a college of some sort, a prestigious school. And in this world, they have will. The more will that you have, the like higher up in society you are, I guess. And so he's basically telling these people that once he goes through this school, that he will just join society and he will hand over his will to like the higher up people. But he actually has different intentions. I've heard crazy good things about this one. I don't think I've actually ever heard anybody online saying that they didn't like this. So I'm very excited to dive into this. I think the second one comes out later on this year, so I might wait a little bit so I can just like binge through this one and the second one, but very excited for this. Then my mom took me on a little shopping spree at Books A Million, and I picked out 2 books that I have already read that I want on my shelf, and 1 book that I am excited to read. So the first book that I picked out that I've already read is Funny Story by Emily Henry. In this, we're following Daphne and Miles. Daphne's fiance and Miles's girlfriend actually end up running away together, and so Daphne and Miles are like, WTF. And Daphne has nowhere to go, so she moves in with Miles. And from there, they do a little bit of fake dating and obviously end up really liking each other in the end. This is my second favorite Emily Henry book. I'm absolutely in love with these characters. I love Miles. He felt very realistic, but also like so romantic and dreamy at the same time. The next book that I picked up at Books A Million with my mom that I have read before is Bunny by Mona Awad. I needed this on my shelf. I can't wait to reread this and annotate it. This book surprised me so much. In this, we're following Samantha, and she is at a writing program at a college, and she has this group of girls in her cohort that call themselves Bunny. They are like the classic Hollywood stereotypical like girly girl, mean girl type of situation, and Samantha and her friend are always making fun of the bunnies until one day the bunnies invite Samantha to their smut salon, which is basically just like a get together to talk about books. And from there, reality starts to blur a lot, and a lot of weird shit starts happening. I absolutely love this book. It was so confusing. Halfway through, I was like, do I like this? I don't know, but I ended up absolutely loving this. Such an interesting take on dark academia and culture of like the stereotypical popular girl. And the last book that I picked up from Books A Million with my mom that I have not read yet is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This has been been on my TBR for a long time. I'm very, very late to the game on this one, but the vibes of this sound right up my alley, so I can't wait to get into this duology. I believe this is about a young girl living in this kingdom. Basically, I think she has like this sickness and she has like this monster within her, and she can't tell like anybody or else she'll be like condemned to death. I don't know. All I know is that the magic system involves like a type of tarot card, which I'm very, 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 very intrigued by. If you didn't already know, I am very big into tarot and oracle. This has always been one that I've really been looking forward to, and I think that's why I've put it off for so long, because I'm like so scared to not like it, even though I feel like I will like it. I don't know. Next up, I'm gonna show you guys books that I thrifted myself. So I've kind of accumulated these books over like a few weeks, maybe like a month or two. So I didn't get all of these books in one trip. So every time I go to the thrift store, I always look in like the children's section, because I'm in the process of slowly but surely gathering up all of the books in the series of Unfortunate Events. I think that eventually my son will really like these books, but also I really want to reread them, and I didn't read through the whole entire series when I was a kid. So I picked up The Vile Village and The Grim Grotto. This is books 7 and 11. I think I only made it to book 5, so I've never even read these ones. If you don't know what the series of Unfortunate Events is, it is middle grade. It is about these 3 orphan siblings who have nowhere to go, and so every single book they're basically sent to a new guardian, but every single book something ends up happening to that guardian and they have to move on to another guardian. And those bad things that happen to their guardians are actually because of Count Olaf, who was their first and original guardian, who basically just wants their family fortune, and so he keeps sabotaging their guardianships. I don't even know how this story ends because I obviously didn't finish it, so yes, it's middle grade, but if you guys have been here a while, you know that I don't have any qualms with reading middle grade, especially if it's good quality middle grade, and I just loved this series as a kid, so I'm excited to read these to my son. Next, I picked up another one that I've already read, but I wanted it on my shelf, and that is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This was a book club pick for me a couple months ago, and I gave it 5 stars. Absolutely love Abby Jimenez. I love this book. This is my favorite romance of all time. This is about Emma and Justin. One day, Justin posts on Reddit about how every time he gets together with someone and they end up breaking up, the person he was seeing ends up finding the love of their life. And then Emma sees this Reddit post and realizes that the exact same thing happens to her every time. So they link up and they think that if they get together and then break up, then they will find the loves of their life once they break up and essentially break this curse. But we can all probably guess what actually ends up happening. Next thrift that I picked up was The Reformatory by Tananarive Dew. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Again, this is one that I've heard nothing but good things about, and honestly the cover is like so intriguing, pretty and spooky. I've just been wanting to pick it up for a long time. It was on my TBR for May. I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm not sure that I will get to it because May is almost over, but I still am very excited to pick this up. This is a historical fiction horror situation. It's basically about this kid, Robbie Stevens, and he's sentenced to 6 months at the Gracetown School for Boys, which is an institution, and it's because he kicked the son of the largest landowner in town in defense of his older sister, Gloria. But Robbie can actually see and talk to ghosts, and when he goes to the reformatory, he starts seeing ghosts of little boys who were once in the reformatory, and they start to warn him about all of the horrors that have gone on at this reformatory. And this is all while Gloria, his sister, is trying to get him out of the reformatory in any way that she can. The premise of this sounds so good, and I love a good historical fiction. Another series that I am slowly but surely, every time I go to the thrift, I look and see if they have more of these books. So I'm like slowly trying to accumulate all of the books, which is a lot of books. And that series is Mortal Instruments and also Infernal Devices. So I got City of Ashes and City of Heavenly Fire, which are both in the Mortal Instruments series, books 2 and book 6. And I already have book 1 in the Mortal Instruments and book 1 in the Infernal Devices. As far as what the Mortal Instruments series is about, I believe it's about a teenage girl who gets caught up in the world of shadow hunters, which are like demon hunters basically. And honestly, I really don't know anything else about it. That's all I know. It's giving supernatural. Don't want to know anymore because I kind of want to go into these series blind. I've heard so many good things. And the last book that I thrifted for myself that I've been going back and forth about picking up is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. I've seen Sarah Caroli read these and I've seen that she is obsessed with them. I am hesitant because I'm scared that it's gonna feel too young for my taste, but I mean, I could read this in a day. It's a graphic novel, if you didn't know, and I believe it is about 2 guys in high school who basically fall in love. So this is the first in the series. I think there's like 4 or 5 in the series, and I don't know if she's coming out with more. Maybe, I'm not sure. It would be so cool if I ended up liking this because I think graphic novels are so fun. Now we are moving into all of the books that I picked up from little free libraries recently. So in absolutely no order, we have Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult. This is about a black nurse, I believe. Yeah, she's a delivery nurse and she helps to deliver this baby, and then when she goes back to help the baby and help the parents, another nurse or a doctor or somebody comes up to her and tells her that they do not want her as a nurse because she is black and they don't want her touching their baby. That's insane. So she's like, okay, F you. And she goes off, but then she's in like the baby room. I don't know what it's called. The room where they keep all the babies. That specific baby starts to like have a really bad issue and she needs to like perform life-saving things on it, but she is like going back and forth and she's like, I don't know, do I touch the baby and like save it, or like am I not supposed to? And then she waits just a little bit too long before she ends up actually like trying to save the baby, and then something happens to the baby, and then I'm pretty sure she is being sued by the parents for not saving their baby or not helping their baby in time. So that is the premise of the story, which is very intriguing, and I can imagine myself weeping at this book, honestly, which we all know. I love a book that makes me weep. I just do. Then I picked up Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. This is about 2 best friends. One is married and one is a social butterfly that is loved by men, basically, if you believe the rumors in the town. Then the one with the husband is found wandering the streets covered in her best friend's blood. Everyone thinks she's the murderer. It's been years since that horrible night and she can't remember anything about it. She's moved to LA and started a new life, but now the phenomenally huge true crime podcast Listen for the Lie and its good-looking host Ben Owens have decided to investigate Savvy's murder for the show's 2nd season, and she's forced to return to her hometown and relive what happened to her and her best friend. I feel like actually this would probably be a great one to listen to on audio because it looks like some of it is like dialogue, like back and forth, like on the podcast, so I might end up doing a little bit of audio with this one too. Next, I picked up I Got Abducted by Aliens and Now I'm Trapped in a Rom-Com by Kimberly Lemming. This is actually an ARC copy that I found in a little free library. I've seen silly, goofy monster romances like this around lately, and I didn't ever think that I would be the kind of person to pick this up, but the description sounds funny, and I don't know, maybe I'll have a good time. I gotta step out of my comfort zone every once in a while, you know? So this is about Dorothy Valentine, and she's getting her PhD in wildlife when she's attacked by a lion, but on the bright side, she's saved because she's abducted by aliens, and she is attracted to the aliens. The lion turns into her bestie and she names him Toto. They team up with Locke, who is a war criminal, and the three of them are exploring this new planet, and Dory learns more about how and why they've all ended up together, battles more prehistoric creatures than she imagined, and questions if she even wants to go back to Earth. I just think this will be like a silly, goofy time, and I feel like this would be an amazing like palette cleanser in between fantasies or something like that. Then I picked up The Little Wartime Library by Kate Thompson. I've never heard of this one before, but the synopsis really grabbed my attention. Essentially, this is about a woman who starts an underground library during World War II in London with her best friend. But as the war drags on, the women's determination to remain strong in the face of adversity is tested to the limits when it may come at the price of keeping those closest to them alive. Again, I love a good historical fiction, and anything to do with a library, I'm there. I'm also just very intrigued by World War II in general, so this caught my attention. Next, I amazingly found My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry by Frederick Bachman. This is about a little girl who's very close with her quirky and insane, kind of moody and grumpy grandmother, and when her grandmother passes away, she ends up finding these notes that her grandmother wrote to say sorry to all of her neighbors and friends for being so grouchy to them. And so this little girl is basically going from place to place and giving all of her grandmother's I'm sorry notes to these people, which sounds just exactly like Frederick Bachman. Another one that I'm 100% sure will make me cry, because I don't think I ever come out of a Frederick Bachman experience without crying. Then I found Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. I have read Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and Just for the Summer, and so now I am starting on her backlist, and I was so excited to find this one. She is officially my favorite romance author. Sorry if this is sitting at a different angle, guys. My battery died. But as I was saying, Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. Basically, we have this woman who quits her job to travel the world, but then her half-sister actually ends up leaving her baby with her, and the last person she expects to show up offering help is the hot lawyer next door. He's a secret baby tamer, and he has a geriatric chihuahua, and I think we can probably guess the rest of it because it is a romance. Next, I picked up A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn. I've heard amazing things about this series. I actually saw the second book in the same little free library that I got this one from, but I just want to make sure that I like the first book before I continue on with the series. So maybe it'll still be there if I end up liking the first one and I can go back and get that one. But this takes place in 1887. We're following Veronica Speedwell, and she travels the world in pursuit of scientific inquiry, but fate has other plans, and Veronica thwarts her own attempted abduction with the help of an enigmatic German baron who offers her sanctuary in the care of his friend Stoker, a reclusive and bad-tempered natural historian. But before the baron can reveal what he knows of the plot against her, he is found murdered, leaving Veronica and Stoker on the run from an elusive assailant as wary partners in search of the villainous truth. Historical fiction, romance, mystery, what else could you need, honestly? I don't really think you could need anything else. Next up is The Night Tiger by Yangzi Chu. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. In this, we're following Ji Lin, and she's an apprentice dressmaker, but when one of her dance partners accidentally leaves behind a gruesome souvenir, she plunges into a dark adventure. And we're also following Chinese houseboy Ren, and he has a secret, a promise he made to find his dead master's severed finger and bury it with his body. Ren has 49 days or his master's soul will wander forever. As the days tick by, a series of unexplained deaths racks the district, along with whispers about men who turn into tigers. Jilin and Ren's increasingly dangerous paths crisscross through lush plantations, hospital storage rooms, and ghostly dreamscapes. It's the coming of age of a child and a young woman, each searching for their place in a society that would rather they stay invisible. I thought this sounded so magical and heartwarming. Clara and the Sun by Kazu Ishiguro, an artificial friend with outstanding observational qualities, watches carefully the behavior of those who come in to browse and of those who will pass in the street outside. She remains hopeful a customer will soon choose her, but when the possibility emerges that her circumstances may change forever, she is warned not to invest too much in the promises of humans. Ishiguro looks at our rapidly changing modern world through the eyes of an unforgettable narrator to explore a fundamental question: what What Does It Mean to Love? I've heard amazing things about this one. Next we have Hell of a Book by Jason Mott. This is about a Black author that sets out on a cross-country tour to promote his best-selling novel. At the same time, Soot, a young Black boy living in a rural town in the recent past, is trying to survive, and the kid, a possibly imaginary child, appears to the author on his tour. As these characters' stories build and converge, they astonish. For while this book entertains, it's also about the nation's reckoning with tragic police shooting that is playing over and over again on the news. Who has been killed? Who is the kid? What waits for the author at the end of his book tour? Unforgettably told with characters who burn into your mind and an emotion-packed plot. I've never heard of this book before, but that just sounds so intriguing to me. I can't believe it, guys, but I found Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings in a little free library. In this, we're following two London socialites, BJ and Magnolia, and they kind of have like a toxic, tumultuous relationship with each other, and they're kind of like getting with other people to like make each other jealous. Everyone always describes this book as Gossip Girl, but in London. And the fans of this book go hard, you guys. They go hard for this book. Like, for a lot of people, this is their favorite book of all time. Favorite series of all time. I really cannot wait to see if I'm going to be one of those people. And the last in my unhaul is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. This is a memoir, I believe. Yeah, I believe the author was sent to live with their devout grandmother in a small southern town, and her brother endure the ache of abandonment and prejudice. And then when she goes back to her mother, she's attacked by a man many times her age and has to live with the consequences for a lifetime. Years later in San Francisco, she learns that love for herself, the kindness of others, her own strong spirit, and the ideas of great authors will allow her to be free instead of imprisoned. I think this is considered a classic. I'm not sure, or a modern classic maybe. Again, I've just heard such amazing things about this one, so can't wait to dive in. Let me know which of these books you have read. Also, let me know if you have picked up any books lately and what those books are. If you didn't watch my little free library hunt, definitely go check that out because it was a fun time. But until next week, guys, bye!